valuable product among both of you. My name is Rumit Mehta. I run a company called Immersion Journeys. We are a boutique tour operator, outbound tour operator that takes luxury clients to Africa, East and Southern Africa. And as Janet alluded, we were recognized as one of our West African products by National Geographic Traveler a few weeks ago. I got published, and I'm milking that cow as much as possible right now. And we also
one of the top 50,
top 50
top
tours
50,
of
imagine.
a lifetime. And we also do trips to India, Bhutan, and Nepal. So I was listening to both of you, and I can almost sort of say, well, one of these days I'm going to have an opportunity where I have these luxury clients that I want to have a wedding in the Serengeti. I'm going to yank Matthew. And I need these wonderful illustrations done, so I'm going to get permission to show up. Our company is, I've been in the business about 8 years. In my previous life, I was an architect with a construction business. Fell into the African travel business from there originally, from Tanzania, East Africa. Living on Roosevelt for about 11 years now. And fell into this business because I realized somewhere along the way that I'm having a lot more fun dealing with people, believe it or not. And some very coddled folks as well. That's why I get into the luxury where we really take care of some amazing needs that they have. It's a 3-year-old company, officially registered 3 years ago. We won a couple of awards at National Geographic, so at least on paper we look great. I am the face of the company. We have a couple of other people working for me right now. What we provide is experiences. I mean, it's not just getting on a plane and taking people to a destination and then pointing at things. It's what we do in between pointing at things is the way best way to describe it. If I'm taking you from one temple in India to another fort in India, that's great, that's all well organized, but it's what we do in between. The stop at the local market, the coffee shop on the street, and having experiences with people. So as our tagline says, more than the sights, we provide the experiences. That's what we do. Why I got into the business, loved Africa, and then got forced into doing India because of my Indian heritage, even though I'm third generation born in Africa. And fell into the India side of things as well, and realized, wow, this is a huge market. Like most markets, it is a competitive market, but I also live in an incredibly stimulating city like New York, where a lot of clients are very curious. They just don't want to just get on a plane and travel. They are not necessarily those who want to just go back into a bus tour. They want luxury, handheld type of trips. And by that I also mean it could be, you guys may think, well, I can sort of figure it out myself. Well, that's great. You may not, need all the handholding, but it's all the small stuff that we provide, the knowledge that we have on the ground, the people that we meet, for home-hosted meals. So we stop, like I said, at a local coffee shop, not a Starbucks, at a local coffee shop along the main highway in India, where the trucker and the farmer and the same guys are sitting around the same table with you from a living. I won't describe the type of glass that you would pick up on the where it's been washed, but it's just getting to know the people in between the various things. That's what we provide. Our trips are all, every time when a person calls me to ask about a trip, we open what I like to call a new manila folder. We one of these little yellow folders, and we start everything from scratch. Everything is customized to your particular needs. And we have a great team on the ground. We deal with 12 countries in Africa and 3 countries in South Asia, India, Bhutan, Nepal in particular. And we are sort of eyeing potentially going into Sri Lanka now. Still a few issues going on, but we have a huge market for some incredible experiences. Our client base are individuals like yourself, families mainly. I have a large university, business school, and a little art school following as well. We have a lot of academic needs that they tend to grow there. We like I said, we give them whatever they want as long as it's within their budget. That's key. Everybody has what we like to call champagne taste, but normally they have a beer budget to sort of work with. But we work with people very, very closely. We never turn anyone away until we try on every possible way. That's what Immersion Journeys does. And thank you for your time.
How many people do you generally have on one tour?
Could be 1 to 45, 50, depends. You bring your, if it's you and your family, that's all we work. Everything's on a private basis. Our largest groups are mainly the university group. They run about 40 to 45 people. Those are more the simpler trips. We try not to over customize everything. It's just very, very hard to deal with it. But with smaller families or private groups, multi-generational families, from grandmother down to the grandkids, we have up to 10 to 15 people. I just had a group of 15 to South Africa, right down to, everybody was arriving at different times. Everybody wanted their ketchup on the left side of the table or the right side of the table. The food needs were different. And that's how we
Do you have any plans to expand that where the trips go to?
No, I decided we're specialists in Africa and South Asia, like I said. So we try to stick to what we know. We won't even pretend that we know other regions. I have been asked to sell the Mediterranean, but I tend not
Okay,
to.
we read leading up to, I guess maybe it's that question of like, if there are other people that knew other regions well, or good, did you have interest in partnering in that way?
We tend to partner, yeah. We tend to often partner depending on how lucrative the group is going to get. Most times I just hand it off to people in the industry that I know. And say, here's a client that, it's a quid pro quo. Next time you get somebody from Africa or India, you can call. So we tend to, because I just don't want to, there's too much liability. We do have a partnership right now, a joint venture for a luxury cycling trip in South Africa, the Western Cape region of South Africa, the Winelands, Cape Peninsula, Cape Town, and that whole region. But that's a joint venture between my company and Italian and Southern Italy-based cycling tour company. We're friends. Antonello wanted to expand his portfolio into Africa, and I needed somebody with the expertise of designing bike tours. I could ride a bike, I have a sense of direction, but I know bike tours. I mean, it was amazing trying to, when I went to South Africa with him, the little things that he pointed out, in which particular direction we have to run the trip. I mean, literally, because they're first they're driving on the wrong side of the road, so there's little nuances that go with cycling trips. So that's a joint venture where he's a cycling expert, I'm the Africa expert, and we come together to promote. So those are the kind of things we tend to refer to.
Right, this is maybe a really dumb question.
Never a dumb question.
When you're going to Africa, do you need certain immunizations?
Yes.
Do you help in arranging all of that kind of pre-work?
We advise what's needed, what's not. We have a complete booklet.
You're not personally doing
No, that's one that, no, I stay with that, visas, we just guide, we just say, well, here's where you should go and take your shots. And all the places you're going to, most of them don't even need requirement. We tend to sort of overdose ourselves in this country. We take more jabs than necessary. But yes, I do, actually, it's back there.
Do you offer a company trips, or do you tour guide? For one
Yeah, I on a rare occasion I do accompany, I do escort. If it's a group that asks for it, whether they're willing to pay for it. Sometimes, with university groups, I just tend to sort of just show up there. A lot of times it's just, if I can afford to just go there and conduct other business. But on a rare occasion I do escort. It is a very difficult part of the trip. One, I have to try to run the business as well as manage people from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. So I tend to not encourage them. unless they're willing to pay for it, which has happened, and and it does work. So and it also depends on the profile of the client. Like I had the president of Vassar College, and her husband, and her $1 million donors, and so I was pushed into going. So things like that I would just make the effort.
Have you had any Roosevelt Island clients?
No, I haven't actually. I talked to several over the years, but I would love to take all of you. No, but it would be great. And the Roosevelt, I think over the last few years, Roosevelt Island has changed a lot. I think we're getting a lot of people who are also exploring a lot more. They're traveling a lot more. And I've seen the change in the way the island has changed. Where I used to live 10 years ago versus what it is now today. So I think we're going to start seeing it.
You don't do safari?
I do safaris.
You do
In Africa, it's safaris, cultural heritage. Safari is the main business. I should have clarified that. That is the main part of the business. Thank you.
When I caught up with Rumit recently, he told me